Dude, seriously, this grass looks amazing. This is probably the best video game grass ever. Even Skyrim isn't as lush as this. Wow, they did a pretty good job. I mean, granted, it looks like the vegetation if I look at it closely. Yeah, it's all low polygon, low texture. Let's see, just for the hell of it, let me actually try to turn my graphic options all the way up, just so I can see how gorgeous it is. Ultra combo. Ultra. All right, let's try it. Let's see how slow it is. God, that is gorgeous. Must take ultra preset screenshots. Let me actually try to play it like this. I mean, it's running right now at 30 frames per second, and it looks like complete crap. Holy... Wow. There's a little bit of jitter. But my gosh, does this thing look gorgeous. Let me try to do just one battle sequence with everything on Ultra.
My Uruk's no better than to face me! You're ruined! Am I supposed to be intimidated by this folly? Die!
I will say this does look amazing on freaking Ultra though. Wow. Hate of Burns.
This is just one battle! You will lose the war!
Really, dude?
Longtooth wants your head on a stick! The slaves on the run!
You're dead. Quit interfering, you idiots. I'm just trying to kill your boss. There you go.
Come kill all of us, you're in my sight.
Crap, I mean, my machine looks like it is handling it pretty well on ultra settings here. It is, Here, let me actually turn my frame rate counter on. Give me just a second. see. Alright, stand by. Okay, we're back. So let's see. At worst, it's dropping to 40, 49, 46 frames per second. Let me see when, like... I'm gonna try when there's actually, like, a lot of crap happening. But so far, it actually is at a tolerable frame rate. I mean, it's not a no 60 frames, but I mean, it's good enough. Although we all know that 60. Here we go. Here's a good spot to test this out on. That one dropped to 35.
At last you emerge from the shadows to face me. This talk's mine. You won't catch me with simple.
Well, that's pretty awesome, actually. I noticed much more details on the rocks here. Plenty of details in the face. But, man, that outfit, though. Especially seeing how clear the handguards are. And the details on the clothing. Especially, like, the fur. It looks pretty insane. Let's see what happens if I put it on low settings at this close. Just to be curious about how bad everything looks. Video, advanced. Lowest, there we go. Alright, here it is. Low settings, everything is all kind of scraggly. The walls suffer a bit. There's no depth of field blur during the death sequences here. And that cape just looks atrocious. Look at that. Oh god.
It's your end.
Yeah, that looks terrible. Alright, let's go back to putting it on very high. Apply settings. Or ultra. Now we get proper depth of field. See how the background gets blurred out whenever you're doing a full stealth kill and everything. As well as also the, you call those god rays, which are like, you know, the sun beaming on the land like that, the vegetation. Back on low settings, there was no grass at all. It was just like a flat grass. Overall, my PC is doing pretty well, though, at handling this. I mean, it is a steady 30 frames. It hasn't really dropped anywhere below that. But, you know, for the sake of not stressing out my video card, I can hear the fan going right now. Let's go ahead and put it on just very high. That way we get a couple more frames out of this. Here's one thing that's doing here. Texture quality needs to stay on high and not ultra. That requires almost 6 gigs of video RAM. There's not very many cards that have that. Well, it looks like something else needs to kind of be lowered a little bit here. Ambient occlusion. Let's try that.
What was that? I see the right cat. Bleed him. Overwhelm
God, just the lighting that bounces off of him from the fire, everything. PC gaming is the best. Since the 980s came out, though, I am going to need to upgrade my video card soon.
And if we got up high, we could jump down on the Grey Walker and split him wide open. Ha!
Huh. No, I'm just kind of experimenting here because it looks like, okay, if I do full auto config and just leave it. Yeah, even out here it's only getting a sustained 30, which is rather strange. I mean, because if I'm getting 30 like this, and, you know, 30 on Ultra, then I might as well just freaking play it on Ultra, right? Kind of makes no sense to me here. So let me try to leave it on high.
Good captain needs to be feared.
Okay, so this is running at 60 now. And, oh, it's stuttering. Oh, that's stuttering really bad. That's stuttering very bad. So if I want to have a constant 60 though, see, that's a real question here. Really, PC elitist? Thanks. I mean, I guess it is true. Let me see what happens when I try doing it on medium.
The pink skin draws appearing out of nothing in front of me. Oh, cut him in two before he vanishes again.
Okay, so this is running at 60 frames per second without any frame drops at all. The movement is much more fluid. You do lose some of the haze effects, and of course the vegetation is pretty much all but gone down there. They only kind of show up as I run in there, but if you look far away, the ground ends up looking flat. But see, as you move forward more, you see the vegetation pop in. Like, basically what you want to do is you kind of want to, like... Okay, go ahead and stare at this area here really closely. Now, as I run forward, you can see the vegetation. See that? The grass is kind of, like, springing out of the ground. I don't know if you can notice that. Pretty much just anywhere on the horizon line, you can see the grass springing out of the ground. Whereas if I have the vegetation range, say I have that on ultra, this entire ground is just covered in grass. So it's really this level that's pretty much killing my my graphics card, just because of the amount of grass that's everywhere. So yeah, I mean, you can see that. See, that's the thing. You have a lot of these console guys that are like, oh, there's no difference, I don't see a difference, but it's like, dude, there's a huge difference between this. Granted, over Twitch, you know, you're not really able to see it much, because the video is compressed that you're kind of watching. But yeah, see over here, the grass at least lasts a little bit longer. It kind of starts to break up around here a little bit, but as we move closer to that area, I mean, either A, it could just be a bald area. Yeah. Yeah, okay, so then that's what it was. It was just a bald area. There's not really supposed to be grass there. I'm trying to find more of an open area where you can see more of a horizon line farther away. There you go. Oh, this is a pretty good example right here. So you notice the grass kind of goes all the way out here, and it starts to wither around here. So we'll keep that line there, and then we'll mark the grass with a different color on a different setting. So this is the line here where grass starts to wither. So let me try even just putting that grass down on high and seeing where that grass ends. Okay, so look, the grass was here on ultra. Now the grass withers here on high. Do you see that? So ultra, high, and then I'll show you it on medium. Okay, medium kind of goes back right here, so that's not bad. And then let's do it on low. The grass ends right here on low. That's not even that far. And then of course the next option is off. And just for shits and gigs, let's go ahead and see what it looks like without any grass. Like a boring, flat landscape, like there's no life here. In fact, let's see what happens if I turn the graphics all the way up on Ultra and have the grass turned off. See what kind of frame rate I get now. So here these graphics are maxed out. It just doesn't look the same with this empty field. I mean, granted, look at the meshes, the character textures, and I mean the dirt on the ground, the detail on the dirt just looks fantastic. But the lack of grass really brings life into this game. I mean, you know, even being able to stand, being able to just stand right here, just in this middle area here. I mean, it brings a lot of atmosphere here, and now it's all just missing. It kind of just looks like a, almost like a, you know, just a regular old PS3 game. I mean, less jaggies, but so let's see. I mean, I can live with the grass on instead of Ultra. I can live with that. Not really. That looks like crap. Alright. So now we'll go ahead and just auto-configure this thing. I mean, this auto-config essentially is what the game decides works best for my system. But there is also a software by NVIDIA called GeForce Experience that kind of selects that for you as well. One part where texture filtering and things like that are super important is water. Because essentially what it is, it's a, you know, clear kind of 3D space, but it has a skin on top of it, along with particle effects that affect each splash. This water looks really oily for some reason. Not really like water, which is kind of weird. It just looks like I'm walking around in oil. So yeah, if you look closely right here, right there, you notice water going in here, and then it cuts, and then it goes that way. So watch, I'm going to go ahead and take off these lines, and just kind of notice the pattern. You'll notice a straight geometric cut. Whoops. Let me go back. You can see it much better with light, yeah. You notice there's a straight geometric cut. Pretty much almost right here. If you look down that path there, you'll see that line. And I think one of the things that actually affect that would be the actual texture filtering. Let me double check. So shadow quality, texture filtering, and texture quality. Let me see if that actually changes the... Oh, and the mesh, yeah. All of those kind of go hand in hand. Let me see if that affects that cut in the water. No, that cut is still there. It looks like it's just an error in how the geometry was built for this thing. But yeah, there's like literally a straight line that goes through there. Alright, anyway. This area pretty much killed my card. Alright, so that concludes the stream for tonight. Just kind of wanted to do a cool graphics comparison here at the end. Especially that grass was pretty mind-blowing. Other than that, if you guys like what you see, please feel free to hit the subscribe button. And follow me on YouTube and Twitter. And also follow right here on Twitch. And we will see you next time. Thanks for hanging out with Games Time.